No, I didn't stay in Steel City. It was like a little like fest that they were doing like over the weekend.
So
I think somebody else already had it, but I had headlined like a queer showcase.
For their fest.
For their fest,
Oh, cool,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Place is cool. It's like real big and like there's like different rooms. It's attached to like a beer bar. You've been there?
Yeah, I've stayed in that apartment.
Oh, sick. How is it? Because they had offered it for next time.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
I might go back to Cleveland in a couple of weeks. And so then I was trying to figure out if I should try to do another night there.
Yeah. I haven't like cracked that scene at all. Like I haven't really done any. I've done like one thing in Pittsburgh, but that compound that he built is sick.
It's crazy. It's huge.
I was a finalist for the Martin House.
Oh, hell yeah.
This last couple of weeks, but ultimately did not.
I've never even been to Pittsburgh.
You're not
as much.
Not really.
I had fun last time.
Really?
You did?
Yeah. Oh, well, parts of it is pretty.
Yeah, because
parts of it looks like
I always just picture like abandoned steel mills everywhere.
It's abandoned steel mills, but they're on the side of mountains.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's like a lot of bridges and
rivers.
I did like a don't tell there, and I got to the location, and it was like in this. It was where like a First 48 would be filmed, and it was a boxing gym.
Okay, that's where
it was fucking cool. But it was like it was even more damp than everywhere else. It was just a weird place.
Just like sweat seeped into the walls.
Yeah.
Not coming back out. When you do the road, do you headline a lot, or like you're just doing
less
showcasey stuff?
often? I'm headlining, but that's happening more and more now. Like this Cleveland thing that I might do. I just got offered because I was there a couple weeks ago, and then they just hit me up to see if I would come back in a few weeks.
Cool.
To headline some, I don't know, I think like a town kind of fest, not like a comedy fest, but like a town, like culture thing.
Like a band shell in a park kind of vibe.
It's some like historic building thing. They look cool.
And do you headline when you go out?
I mean, Connecticut, on occasion, probably. Back like home in Connecticut, sometimes in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, because it kind of works out for them, because it's usually like newer comics running their own small bar shows who can't afford anything really big, but they can like get me for a little bit less to do 30, maybe 40 minutes, that kind of thing.
Do you find like going back to your hometowns, like the allure of being a New York City comic, like changes how people perceive you in your original scenes?
I started here, so I don't know anything else.
A little bit. I think there is like a little bit of that, because they think like, oh, he's a New York comic now, like we can get him to do this. But for the most part, maybe because I've only been here such a short time and I was there for so long. But it's amazing like how quickly you're gone and everything seems like it's changed. Like, I don't know, Connecticut, it just feels like there's not as much happening, where Mass is a lot more happening.
I got a bunch of people that from my day job who asked like, "Oh, do you ever do Connecticut?" And I'm like, and it's really the only place in the tri-state or like in Northeast at all that I have not done. Just because if I'm going to go out of town, it better be farther than Connecticut.
So you're purposely avoiding Connecticut?
I'm actively avoiding it.
All right.
Just because of the distance?
It's not even. I don't know. Like, it's never enticing. I don't know. For some reason, it's like I'd rather be home, or I'd rather have to be gone. That's dumb.
You don't want to half-assed leaving.
Right. I want to be fucking gone.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, for me, it's just, I mean, at the same time, I don't, Connecticut, even to me, like, it doesn't appeal going there to me. It's just that that's where I can make some money.
I feel like when I first started, I found like I don't know, it was like a Facebook group or something of Connecticut area comics. Yeah. And I was like, these are fucking dirtbags.
Oh, yeah. There's plenty of that.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of that. Yeah. Am I this?
Shout out. I mean, well, yeah, wherever. It didn't entice me. But,
there's like some people who are running like good stuff there, but then, for the most part, you're like, what are these? It's just like these crazy showcases.
Yeah, I have no real reason to avoid it, but I just haven't like cracked into it.
You have no real reason to avoid it, but no real reason to seek it out either, really.
That's what it feels like.
That's how I feel about Pittsburgh. Like, kind of like, I'm like, I just need a place to crash on a Monday. I don't need a bar show. I'm just driving through to like a real place.
Yeah, this last trip
No
actually
offense.
changed my mind about Pittsburgh. Like, plus I met a bunch of Pittsburgh comics at like festivals this year, and so I've just got like a little bit more, like, connection there.
Yeah.
They're trying to build that scene too, like what the Steel City people are doing.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, they're really trying to like prop it up a little bit.
Yeah, and JC and Steve were like super cool, super like supportive, and just like a little bit more just positive as far as like producers and like owners of the place kind of vibe. It's just never like that most places.
Yeah.
At least in that kind of way, because it's comics who at least know what it's like to be out of town. And yeah.
And he was a real dues payer, so like he knows like how the grind how
what you have to do,
grinding the grind is.
Yeah.
So I just met JC at the interview, the Martin House interview. Is she a comic?
Yeah. She's done stuff for a long time, but she does cruise ships a lot, which I know some people like shit on, but like
awesome.
like that is a fucking grind.
Yeah.
And you got to have like a few separate hours.
Yeah, you have to have,
because it's just the same people every night.
You have to have 3 30-minute sets.
I mean, that's not
And one has to be
insane,
clean.
but like I can only imagine how my night 3 would be.
Yeah.
It'd be getting
Yeah, it's like
thin.
always like shitting. I know a lot of people like shit on it. Like, I'm not shitting on it. I just don't think I could do it.
I want to do it because I want to like have that much stage time.
Yeah.
You know
For
what I mean?
sure.
It's like 9 shows in 6 days or something crazy. It's like, I just want to, I like, you know what I mean? Like my favorite parts about comedy is like stage time and traveling.
Yeah.
And like,
For sure.
that's like, I get to
Both of
be
them.
on a
Yeah.
cruise. Like I get to like see like an island I would never see otherwise. And then like, I don't know.
There's something like super satisfying to like just be traveling because of your comedy.
Yeah.
Like even if it's not you're kind of slumming it the whole time, like I get real pumped because I can stop on the roadside and like lay down in the back of my car, and to me that's fucking great. But when I look from like, I kind of zoom out, I'm like, oh, that's fucking trashy.
Yeah. I've always like, because like I feel like I can spin my life's accomplishments in 2 completely different ways. Like I can make it sound like I've accomplished all this like insane stuff that like people wish.
Totally.
And then I could also spin it and be like, well, I'm homeless, broke, I live in a car. Like, I did 7 minutes to people who didn't care at a bar.
Wait, didn't you just you have some you posted something about the record going platinum?
Yeah, Taking Back Sunday's record just went platinum. I'm on the record.
You were
and just
on
went
it. I didn't know
platinum.
that.
Yeah.
What did you do on it?
Just like screams
Gang
and
vocals?
Well, no, like
Oh.
in like individual,
okay.
like my own parts.
Oh no shit.
that's-
And then also
that's
like
sick.
I wrote a ton of like the lyric, like not a ton. I wrote some lyrics.
Yeah.
So like,
Well, that's awesome. I mean, congrats in a
Well,
real way,
yeah.
not in a
yeah, I mean, it's
the way that I typically would. That's actually cool.
yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like it is cool.
All
But
right,
then
we're
like,
done.
yeah, that and $7,
good
I
job.
still can't get
God
a
damn it, Neil.
sandwich.
Real proud of you. I'll stream it an extra time for you.
All right, thank you.
I'll see if I can find your vocals in it.
Yeah.
I feel
No,
like
they're pretty. Like
Yeah.
you can tell. Yeah. There's 3 songs, and it's like it's clear.
Oh, I'm-
Yeah.
wait, I want to get into that more, but we should
No,
let's
'cause you're
do
gonna shit
this
on
real
me.
quick.
I
No,
know. Well, it's just talking about you guys. I don't want to talk about me.
We don't
Nah,
know what
we're
we're
here- we
doing,
brought you
but
here to
I
punch.
feel like maybe we should intro the show
Oh, fuck.
now
Oh.
that we've gotten moving.
Oh, well,
but this is the first episode of Can't Stop, Should Stop. Just a bunch of fucking old, aging, whatever this is.
What are we?
And
Yeah.
just not giving up.
I feel
Everybody
like
else
I'm not
has moved
on
on.
either camera though.
No, you're in
on-
that one
you're
for
on that
sure.
one.
You sure?
I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
see you
No,
moving.
I set it up, asshole.
No, but I
Should
know
we
you
still
set
talk
it up.
about
That's
you?
why I
Because
think
your attitude is getting to be a little much.
She has platinum on Taking Back Sundays. Now I'm not in the camera shot.
Nobody listened to that band anyways.
Yeah.
Wait, so you also posted some video recently of like when you were actually I don't was it your band that you were vocal for?
Yeah, my old hardcore band. We a video of us at CB's like resurfaced.
That's badass.
and it looked cool.
I'd never been there. Did you ever
No,
get
I
to
never
go?
got there, no.
Oh yeah, no, it was, yeah, that's like that was like I grew up there, like because I worked at a records. Do you remember Mondo Kim's? It was on St. Mark's.
I know the name, but I never went.
So I worked there. Like I was like my high school job. I would like skip. I got kicked out of school because I wasn't going. I would skip school to take the train to work at that record. I would lose money to work at that record store.
Hell yeah.
But I just thought it was so cool to like work in the Lower East Side and like work at a record store. So like I would go into the city and then like after work I would just go to like CB's or Coney Island High or whatever. It was just like that's like where I grew up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
losing money to work
insane.
somewhere, I feel like just prepared you for comedy.
Oh, for sure. I've never switched gears. It's been the whole time. Yeah. But, yeah, so that video resurfaced, so I posted it. Also, in the video is my buddy Christian, and he booked that adjacent festival.
Oh, yeah.
So there was like a week of just like Christian appreciation from like all the people on the fest.
Hell yeah.
So like that was like my little like, oh, this is Christian as a child. So yeah.
I'm gonna move that camera a little bit just so we make sure that we have good view.
See, I told you I'm not in.
Or we'll keep it.
You got it in her head.
This is gold.
This is punk. This is
Definitely in, but,
this is punk. This is what we do.
I guess we'll just have to cut out Pete. Pete will just barely be in this shot.
Well, you can cut to Pete on this one.
Yeah, well, I don't know why you're yelling.
I should go.
I feel like I've done a lot of work here, and I don't need to.
I feel like I came up with a good idea for you guys to have a podcast.
It's true.
Yo, Bailey, Pete, you guys should do a podcast together. I'll stop in once in a blue.
Yeah, thanks for all your hard work thinking
right,
that a podcast should happen. And then the rest of it was me trying to wrangle you guys into Zoom calls.
I'll be like,
I printed out an agenda. Yeah.
I'll be like, yo, can we record Wednesday? You guys will be like, we actually have a guest. Like, wait, what?
Be like, you're slated for once a month, and it's still June.
Yeah.
We'll see you in a year.
Good job.
Did you play in bands?
No, I very, very briefly, like a month, where I was the singer in a band, and the only song we could play was "Wings of a Butterfly" by him, and I couldn't sing it very well.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry. We all sang "Crazy Bitch" by Buck Cherry.
There you go.
How
I
old
fucking
were
hate
you?
Buck Cherry. I was like 19,
Okay.
so a
That was
while ago,
like
12
6 years ago. Cool.
They still tour.
Buck Cherry, that's bullshit.
They were in Cleveland when we hung out. Where would we hang out? Minnesota.
Minneapolis.
When we
Yeah.
hung out in Minneapolis, that was the band. Remember, there was a bus across the street, and we were in the elevator. I was like, "This guy's probably in a band."
Oh yeah.
That was Buck Cherry.
Oh
Buck
shit.
Cherry gets a bus.
Yeah, they have a bus.
Who are they playing for, man? Come on.
I mean, Neil was on a bus, so it's not that big of a deal.
Not fair.
Well, all right.
The Buck Cherry of comedy.
No, wait, that was the Motion City one, right?
Yeah.
That was cool. Wait, we saw each other there, and then we saw. It wasn't Motion in Texas when we ran into each other. That was
I think
just,
I was just on
the
tour.
road.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the first time we're hanging out in New York.
Yeah.
We almost met in New York,
Right.
and then we met digitally, and then we've only ever hung out not in New York.
Yeah. So we didn't know each other, but then when I started seeing him on flyers, I was like, I probably should know that guy. I mean, I feel like we probably have.
It's probably the same thought I've had about you two as well.
I mean, 100%. Yeah. That's why I was like, when I was like, I want to do a pod, I was like, it's these two, obviously.
Can you imagine if the three of us were at a show, like on a lineup, and we didn't know each other, and then we were just like, this is fine. We'll keep it that way.
I don't need any more of this. I'm out of here.
I have enough tattooed punk rock friends. I don't need.
But that, yeah. So then, what was that? It was like
It was Taylor
Yarbar?
Yarish's show. It was Taylor and I think Ted Barton and Taylor Yarish had a show in like
Midtown
the basement of like some.
A laundromat?
I like that you
I don't
coughed and then moved the mic.
I'm new here. Okay.
Yeah, it was a basement of some like fancy ass bar, and it was like super dope. It was such a dope room, and Gus Constantellus, not going to work here anymore, was the host.
Did you think of that?
Yeah, I came up with that on my own. And yeah, and then you came in This is like, is this like a? Can I tell this story?
Yeah.
She came in and I was like, ooh. And then she like made eye contact with me and immediately walked.
She just knew what you were thinking. She's like, fuck.
They're like, oh, it's a creep. Fuck.
He thinks because we have tattoos, we can talk.
100%. That's what she thought. 100%.
No, I was just coming to hang, and they had said like they were too packed to have any extra people hang.
Meanwhile, I was like, sit next to me.
She's on my list. She's on my list. You don't have a list. She can take my spot. I'm on her list.
Fuck this up for me.
You're the worst wingman ever.
And then we only just met in Mass,
in
right?
Mass,
at Ange's show.
Yep.
Ange Buxton, super cool.
It was
super cool, very funny comic.
Yeah, super funny.
Honestly, they should move to the city because they're so fucking good. But they have like a whole life and like a real adult.
They bought that
real
venue
adult life. Yeah, they bought a venue in Greenfield. Is that what it's called? Greenfield, near Northampton, called 10 Forward.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, there was a show there, and that was.
But
like the first
after a while, like no, because I knew of you. And I it might have been Ange that said, like, you should know Bailey. I was like, I know. I was like, anytime there's another tattooed comic, every other comedian's like, you should know them.
Yeah.
Yeah, try being a trans comic.
Oh, fuck.
People are like, you're like that? I know somebody else is like that. Do you know this person? It's like, yeah, I do. Fuck, yes.
For the sake of this conversation, I wish I didn't. We don't all know each other, but yes, I know all of them.
I used to get that a lot with my friends would be like, oh, I have this other friend who's gay. I'm like, oh, they're not, all right, whatever. Like, they're not fun.
You're the least gay guy.
I'm aware.
I was actually going to say, like, I'm the most feminine and gayest person in this room.
Yeah. Real bitch.
You're both homosexuals, and I'm the gayest.
You did that on purpose, Neil.
I know.
Wow.
I remember I went up. Do you guys remember? Is her name Stephanie? It doesn't matter. This woman, normal, not like a butchy lady, just like a normal lady. And then I did a set, and then she came up after me, was like, she's like, now for some masculine energy. I was like, hey. Okay.
I love your reaction was also just like,
no.
Neil goes up, and then Jordan Jensen.
Exactly.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, finally a real man.
Have you been in town? Oh, wait, you just did my show, and that I had to miss out. Fuck.
Oh, Fun Gutter. I want to do that so bad, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're always out of town, but it's definitely going to happen.
Did you
soon.
start a podcast just to ask to be on that show?
Yeah, that's how hard comedy
it's already happened.
It was awesome.
Good.
It was awesome. It was a great crowd, and the band was sick.
Good.
I just love it because they were like surf rock and punk at the same time. So half the song sounded like you just wanted to chill on the beach, smoke a joint. The other half was just fucking violent.
They're fucking cool.
And I was like, this is perfect.
I had been like, it's so hard booking bands for the show. For anybody for the two people who listen to this, one of you probably won't know my show. We have a punk band as a house band. It changes every month. But
if you need bands, let me know.
What's that?
If you need bands, let me know.
Yeah, actually, I will let you know, because like it's always hard, because first I need to find a band that fits the vibe. Then I need to find a band that will even give us a chance, as far as like it sounds like a weird concept to some bands. Sometimes they'll be like, they think that they're above it. I'm just like, you don't get paid this much for other shows, like come fuck around with us.
Yeah.
But and they like stay on stage, and they play every comic on and off stage, and so
that's super
sometimes cool. Like the bands like aren't into the idea, but just getting a band to, even if they're on board, getting 4 people all available on the same night, it's just like there's so much.
Do they play a full song between?
They say they do a whole set at the beginning of the show, and then they stay on stage and they just play like like 8 to 12 measure between
okay. Yeah,
comics. Very like basically just sort of Borscht Belt like idea of like giving some sort of transition energy and stuff like that. That's actually my stripper name.
Transition energy.
Oh, I was like, I went Borscht Belt. I was like, that's a weird ass name,
no,
dude.
that's what I asked my surgeon for. Yeah. But I was bummed that I didn't get to see this band because I've been trying to get them for a while.
They were sick.
Depresión Tropical. Spanish. I don't know if they're like Latino.
Yeah.
And some of their songs are in Spanish.
I remember when I was walking in, they were kind of like, two of them were hanging by the door, and one just goes, "You Metal Pete?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Hell
I'm Punk Brian. I'm like, "Sweet, nice to meet you." I was like,
finally, worlds collide.
Finally.
It was a great turnout too, though.
Good.
And the lineup of comics was awesome. It was so good.
Yeah, we had Claire Pellegrino, yourself, Julio Diaz, and then Shane Torres.
Yeah.
Dude, Julio's a fucking
he's
murderer,
so good.
dude.
I did a full weekend with him up in Massachusetts, up in Boston, and he was so good.
And he's so nice.
He's such a nice
so
fucking
Is
dude.
he
fucking
drawing?
nice.
Is he drawing these
I don't-
days? Because like he's
I don't
got
know.
like,
I mean, but so we did a show called Duck Duck Goofs. It's called, and this guy Ryan, he just basically followed the same blueprint as Don't Tell, and he's just been packing
Killing
these
it?
shows out. Yeah, it's in the fucking basement of of like an adult rec center kind of thing. So we like walk in, there's guys doing karate in like one of the rooms, and you can hear them upstairs just flopping on the ground. But they're 5 shows from Thursday to Saturday, all pretty much packed, like 80
In Boston?
people. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
in Cambridge.
Jesus, man. Boston's got so many things going on.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like between the Don't Tells, the new Boston Comedy Club, which is another like just kind of like
I'm doing like 4 shows on a Saturday in Boston.
Yeah.
And they're like all a block apart.
Yep.
I have a hard time in Boston.
I used to have a hard time, and then all of a sudden it just clicked.
I fucking moved farther away, and I got booked there more.
Do you think that has to do with being in New York?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Also, I think, I mean, this is like whatever weed shit that people don't want to hear about, but I also think that like when you're away from a place and you're like, oh, I'm going to be back one weekend, then everyone's like, oh, do mine.
Yeah.
But if you're
Totally.
there every week, like if I'm here every week, Bailey's going to be like, we'll get you on eventually.
Yeah.
But if I'm like, hey, I'm only in town in July, she's like, all right, I'll try and get you, well, she won't, but
I was
someone
going to
else
say,
might.
no, you're not.
Better slow your roll, sir.
Literally won't, but this was your opportunity too, because I was in town this weekend and you were away. You should have put me on so you didn't have to deal with me. What's
Fuck you.
What's the next segment?
Should we say who we are? I don't even know.
Oh, that's a good idea. What if, right, like at 2/3 of the way through, we intro
We
ourselves.
should only say it at the end.
Well, okay, Neil, how about you fucking start?
Okay, hi, I'm Neil Rubenstein.
That's it.
Well, I don't know what do
Where
you
the
want
fuck
me to
are
do.
you from?
I'm here originally, Long Island originally.
Yeah, they don't know where we're at. So.
Figure it out.
We're in Bailey's Brooklyn apartment.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
Bad enough you know where it is.
Yeah.
You know other people know it.
I'm from Long Island. Started comedy like 8 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're here in this
Okay.
Brooklyn apartment.
Yeah, I'm Bailey Pope. I started here in New York about 4 years ago.
4 years only?
Yeah.
Dude, you're a killer for 4 years, dude.
Thanks.
Fuck.
Yeah,
That
I
makes
did
me
like
mad,
15
dude.
I did
I think
like
I feel.
15 years of public speaking, and so a lot of it, I think a lot of people like they just need to learn how to connect with an audience and like be comfortable on stage, because the writing is the hardest part to me. And, like being on stage and like being present, I think is what a lot of people have to learn over time.
But you're so fat, like you're so quick-witted, and then also like your character is so defined.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Like just interpersonally, you're the same person, and it's like so clear. Like, oh, this is like she's like sarcastic and snarky. She's got these kind of points of view. Like
when I was getting ready to finally start, I was like pumping myself up. I would like listen to every podcast I could find about like just comics talking about comedy and shit. And I wish I could remember who said it, but like a comic like said like the best advice they ever got was like never say anything on stage if you wouldn't say it that way like off stage. Basically like the idea of like just like if you're funny, go be funny just a little higher up above people with the microphone.
Yeah, I always tell like when I talk to new comics, that's like the thing I say is like when people talk about like finding your voice, like it's just you started comedy because your friends thought you were funny. So just convince these people, like just give these people the information that your friends already have about you. Just let them know that you're fun. You know what I mean? Like just be who you are around your friends.
I mean, it wasn't immediate, that's for sure. I mean, I was definitely like I was like pretending to be, you know, like when you see people acting the part of comedian on stage. When I started, I 100% was like trying. I was like, I'm going to be like a Tig Notaro kind of, and I really thought that I was going to be like alty and deadpan and that didn't like that washed away real fast because I was like, wow, I like being funny with people way better than what I'm doing up there. So
yeah.
What about you?
Peter Angelo, originally from Connecticut, been in the city about a year now, been doing comedy for 8 years.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And I haven't done shit.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but you're starting. I feel like your profile is getting pretty raised.
It's starting to, yeah.
You got passed at a bunch of clubs.
And I don't know. Like last few months, I started gaining a following, which has been fucking weird.
Because you post thirst traps every day.
That's only to keep it.
You're shirtless on the internet more than anyone I know.
Well, yeah, that's only on Instagram. You see other places. I started doing that more just because I started gaining a following. I'm like, I gotta keep them here. So I was like, let me lean into it a little bit. But it was only because one clip did well, and then it just started to circulate.
My buddy Luke, he's a metalhead. Luke Severai, do you guys know him?
I don't think so.
Check him out. He's a Seattle comic. We do a lot of stuff together. Like we just clicked, same reason. Like we all clicked. And he like posted a thing about like moshing, like a joke about moshing, and like blew up. Like he's
I think I've seen you post him.
He's metal's favorite comedian.
Yeah.
Like every metal band is like, this is my guy. And I'm like, you know,
hell yeah,
this is guy.
Wait, so you just moved to New York? What it's been like about a year now?
It'll be just about a year, August, yeah.
Right on. And like, so what prompted the move?
Honestly, a big part of it was getting past stand up New York. And I was
you got passed before moving.
Yes.
Oh,
and so I started kind of coming down here a bit more. And then a lot of people were just telling me, they were like, you should move down here. Like you have enough of like an identity and like a different kind of thing that, yeah, you should at least give it a shot. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I lived in Connecticut my whole goddamn life. I'm pretty sick of it. I just need something different. You know, met someone who lived here, which helped. So like,
you grew up in that neighborhood that I met you guys at?
That was a little north. Oh no, that area, yeah, not too far from there.
Okay,
but
it's like just between New Haven and Hartford, like that little stretch.
Yeah.
Huh.
Even the area I lived was like even more fucking rural than that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When I'm up there, I stay in Cobalt.
Oh shit, that's
super.
Yeah, it's real rural.
Yeah, it's like on a river.
Well, okay, so then now we fucking finally did intros. Where you been lately?
I don't know.
Where were you last?
I was just in Connecticut this past weekend.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I like it. I don't like it. I did something interesting Friday. Where was I Friday? Man, my brain.
Were you with somebody, or
I don't remember.
You were alone somewhere?
I shot a special a couple weeks ago.
Oh, right.
And I did a Jason Fest a couple weeks ago.
That must have been like
that was wild.
Okay. Actually, I mean,
the what? Jason.
Right, I mean to ask you this, especially when you do like
a Jason festival. Who's Jason? Go ahead.
Fuck you. For like doing like shows that are mostly music and stuff like that. How is like the vibe of the crowd? All like especially that many people just kind of standing there ready for songs.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like elder emos. the best audience. They're just jaded enough, just cynical enough, but like still open-minded enough. And like generally the bands that I'm opening for are like kind of like on the legacy side, like they've been around for like 15, 20 years. So like their audiences have also been around for 15, 20 years. So like it's like a night out for them, and they don't want like 14 bands they'd ever heard of. You know what I mean? Like, so like the comedy is kind of a relief for them.
Sure.
And if I'm presented correctly, like there's definitely a way to fuck it up. But if I'm presented correctly and enough of the people know my pedigree, then it goes really smoothly.
Yeah.
Certain venues, it's just a nightmare because like the bar is like next to the stage, so you just hear like nonsense and no one's paying attention. But like those like big halls, like Fillmore's and like Boston House of Blues, like those are phenomenal. Like those shows were the best shows. Like you're from Salt Lake originally?
No, I'm from California.
Oh, why did I think you were from Salt Lake?
I don't know.
You're an asshole. I don't know how to be an asshole.
I just assumed. I was like, oh, she's a Mormon. The complex in Salt Lake, like that crowd was amazing because it's like the bar's in another room, and then like Big House of Blues is where the bar's in another. They're awesome. So yeah, the festival though, like you have to be, not that you have to be careful. You just like I cut the buzzword stuff out because they're not paying attention. Yeah. And then they just hear me go like, "Not anymore, Jew," and they're like, "What?" You know what I mean? So like you can't do the lead in and the lead out. So you
can't even sell the shirts.
Yeah, the fuck you Jew shirts. Yeah, you can't. So that like that's one thing you have to like be like mindful of. Like as soon as I say pronouns, like now I have to fucking have a joke quick. Yeah. Otherwise, people are gonna be like, "Who's the fucking asshole singer?" You know what I mean? Like they don't. You don't get a time to buy.
As soon as somebody with your face says pronouns, everybody's going to make assumptions until.
Which is such a wild thing because it's like the group of people that wants like. The most like don't judge me on my this or this
are the
fucking quickest
immediate.
To be like how many times I've been called out by like a Twinkie NB for being like a cis hetero and I'm like, you have no idea, bro. Like, you have no idea what I'm into. Just do your jokes, dude. Just fucking do your jokes.
So you did Adjacent.
I did Adjacent.
And so how did the special go? I was bummed that I couldn't be in town.
Oh, dude, it was so fucking good, man. It was so fun.
You did an hour?
Yeah, I did 52 minutes.
Oh, I don't care anymore then.
But I left out so much stuff. Well, just because a lot of it's favors, like the production's favors.
Sure.
So like, I didn't want to make someone who's editing it on the cheap do like an hour of editing to cut it down to 40 minutes.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? So like 50, like I was going to stop at 45 and then I was like, all right, I have like one more chunk. And then the crowd was like, yeah, do another chunk. And I was like, it's not up to you. I was like, it's up to Steve. I was like, are you cool with me doing another chunk? Because you're going to have to edit another 6 minutes.
He's like, no.
And he was like,
gun in the booth.
He totally was just like, I mean, you got, go ahead. I'm going to say no. But so it was sick. And yes, Steve from Thursday is one of the producer directors of it, and he's editing it.
Hell yeah!
With Mike Dubin. I don't know if you know Mike Dubin.
I don't think so.
He's a concert photographer. He's like
right
on the bigger side.
Hell yeah! So, and where you been? You been just in town, or you been
pretty much for me recently. It's just been a lot of in town. I was in Austin like about 2 months ago. I would say 2-3 months ago.
What'd you do down there?
It was a lot of fun. I did probably one of my favorite shows was the Hit List at the Vulcan, which was awesome. There's another one. They have a band on the stage and stuff like that. It's but it's like just a really rowdy ass crowd. But what's wild is it was just a weird feeling because the tons of great shows. I had like 7 shows lined up in like 4 days. But my first 2 days there, I had nothing going on. I was just kind of watching shows. And I was like really like itching to perform because everything just seemed like I was at a festival. Like everyone was hanging out, all this stuff's going on. I even tried to get on Kill Tony. But by the time I got up, I was like...
Was that the Mothership already?
No, Mothership wasn't open yet. Mothership wasn't open yet. But it's weird because like by the time I was so like amped up to perform again because I was kind of like feeling excited. It's like my first 2 sets, like, they were fine, but I just felt like I was like, Oh, I didn't live it up to it in my head. Like I don't know. I just like I feel like I set myself up for failure. Then finally, once I got over it, like just the whole weekend, we did like a small little DIY spot, the East Austin Comedy Club, which was so much fun. We did like 4 shows there, and it was just a blast. Like I really did have a great time, and I really dug Austin, which I know is like cliche at this point, but like it was a great town.
I think like people are like, oh, is Austin all it's cracked up to be? I'm like, more. Yeah. Like it's so dope. It's so dope. It's New York with audiences, which is like
I feel like a lot of people go there right now. A lot of comics will go there and they think that it's just going to be like open doors everywhere. I think that's what people get all bummed out. They're like, wait, people didn't like give me every single spot. I wasn't, there was no red carpet anywhere. I feel like that. I feel like people like have like weird expectations about like coming in and like being on top. Yeah, or something.
Because you're from somewhere else, you're gonna be like, oh, a new person. Like,
no. It's like New York like that, where it's like, no, you can go to the back of the line. Yeah, like you're everybody else now. Like online. But when you do get those doors open, there's so much stage time, and there's audiences everywhere. It's
I went my shows on like I was like a Tuesday and a Wednesday, and fucking shows were packed.
I just got accepted to Altercation.
Yeah, I know, because I got rejected.
Oh shit!
I saw your name on the list twice.
Yeah, I did. I saw that too. I don't know why. They're trying to fill a quota without actually having to. I haven't done it before. I've gotten turned down for it a couple years.
This is my second time being turned down.
Well,
so keep trying.
I don't like apply to many fests.
I don't either. That's what bummed me out. I apply to so few.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm not the demo for them. Like I'm like an old white guy to a lot of people. So it's just like
I feel like I've done a bunch of fests that like you would fit in perfectly. Like I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I guess there's also like for me, there's so many. I feel like I'm gonna like just like pick the wrong ones and just go to ones that just.
Well, I mean, there definitely are a lot of bullshit ones. Yeah. And so, like, if you ever have questions, I can tell you
which ones you've gone to.
Yeah, I have opinions about good ones and bad ones.
We had that conversation recently.
Yeah.
I just remembered where like she asked me about a festival and I was like, I don't like it, but you're gonna do great. You're gonna crush.
Well, and I got into that one, and then I realized that. Like the day after the spot that I was going to have on it, I have like a really good paying gig upstate here, and so I just didn't. I'm not going to do that fest this year.
What was it?
The fest?
Yeah. Do we do this?
No, it doesn't. It was that was Blue Whale, the OKC one.
Tulsa.
Yeah.
Tulsa. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
My spot was going to be on a Friday, but I have like a really good gig upstate.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be like something that reoccurs, but it's called Borscht Belt Fest, and it's like at like a venue that used to actually like have Borscht Belt like comedy back.
Buddy
like,
Hackett used to perform there,
and there's like a showcase of like Cellar Comics one like later, like after my show, I'm on like a New Faces show on it, and but anyways, so Austin though. Yeah, Altercation. That's where we got. I was like, where did this come from?
Where'd this line go?
Yeah.
Are we doing like a couple episodes? Like, should we like? I don't know how.
I was
long.
thinking like, no, I don't think I don't. I think that one's probably good for now.
And
okay.
Then,
so, but yeah, we should probably like wrap up.
Where were you just, or were you going just?
Yeah. So let's see. I've
been
just
in Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Yeah, I've been gone a lot lately. I do a lot of festivals. What's that?
Do you need a water?
I've been drinking water. Okay. It's just like residual. Like I've been laying on this couch so I had COVID this week, and I had to cancel shows. Every single night I canceled like a sketch filming, and then I couldn't even be on my own show. Jeez. So I was just like I was like testing, hoping to be done at least so we could do this today. And I tested negative last night, and I was like, fucking finally. But yeah, so my body's just like ready to get some rest in my bed instead of on the couch. So I had, and it doesn't matter. Where have I been? I was in Pittsburgh and Cleveland. That was a lot of fun. I did Don't Tell and Steel City in Pittsburgh. In Cleveland, I did Secret Society. You ever done Secret Society shit?
I want to.
They have like a lot of cool stuff. We did like a real like it was a cool like late night spot. It was like a coffee shop, but like it had a really great setup. And unfortunately, the town closes. Like everything closed at 1:30, and so Brittany Carney was there, and then Steve Chen. Do you know Steve Chen? L.A. He was in town too.
From Walking Dead?
No.
That's Stephen Yoon.
Oh, Yoon. Sorry.
Wow. Not they're not all okay. No.
I mean that's a reasonable mistake.
So I was there. I'm going to be. Where am I going next? I don't know. Oh, this week I'm going to Boulder. Thursday I'm going to Boulder. I'll be in Boulder Thursday through Monday.
For shows?
Festival. Yeah, it's like another festival.
So many festivals.
Are you going to any concerts coming up? Or any concerts recently?
Let's see. Who did I see recently? Who did I see? I'm blanking.
I saw Municipal Waste not long ago. It's fucking sick.
Where?
Irving.
Sick?
Yeah, it was
Irving
dope.
Plaza,
It was fucking awesome. I go Municipal Waste. I fucking love. I go.
They
fucking.
headlined?
No, Carcass did.
Carcass.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I went berserk for Municipal Waste.
Yeah.
Like I don't mosh as much as I used to, but when Waste goes on, I'm fucking going nuts. I'm throwing down. And then today's Monday.
Today's Monday.
Well, I'm going to see The Cure tomorrow.
Oh, no
excellent.
shit.
Yeah.
You're gonna mosh there? You're gonna get crazy?
I'm gonna fuck people up.
Yes. Windmill people. They're already crying.
Yeah. I'll use them to cry about.
Oh, you know who I did just see? Do you remember, like I was posting about that band
Hundreds of
Dreamwell,
Gold?
and then Hundreds of AU, or what?
I guess Hundreds of Gold? Is
Yeah,
it Gold?
it's something I should have asked. They probably said it when they were on stage, but I feel like it was AU, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like both the bands are like a little bit more like I don't know.
Noisy
Like,
hardcore is probably what I would say. Somewhere in the world of like the Bronx.
See, I thought so. Hundreds AU like
What?
reminds me of like Boy Sets Fire kind of stuff, but
Okay.
then Dreamwell.
Neither of what you both said just sounds like noise. More so.
Well, noisy, like discordant,
Yeah.
like discordant,
Right.
like dissonant.
When Neil says noise, it's different than what I'm used
Yeah.
to. Like I'm used to like
I'm not talking
Insanity,
about
everyone's throwing their-
grindcore
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
mathy
that's what I
weird
think of noise.
shit.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Merzbow or Sudden Infant. I'm talking about like just noisy hardcore, like just like an octave run under the chugs.
Oh, we called that tough guy hardcore.
No, not
like
the tough, the
beatdown
other
hardcore?
stuff, the noisier of the. Yeah. No, I never was into tough guy stuff. But speaking of Boy Sets Fire, Rob Avery came to my show in Atlantic City Friday.
Is that the one?
I hung out with no. He was the replacement bassist. He played. I mean, he was in the band the longest probably.
Uh-huh.
But the bassist I don't like was gone. Then
Oof.
Rob joined, and Rob
Fucked his girlfriend.
and then and he came to the show with his wife. His wife was real drunk and heckled. It was pretty.
Boy Sets Fire is just one of my favorite like all time bands. I have like a lot of memories like tied to those albums and stuff. I know that this is
I'm not
not
saying
everything.
anything.
Not
Yeah.
everything's about you.
Yeah, I'm not saying a word. I
Do you need a moment?
just grinned and
Okay, 15 seconds.
yeah. I mean, Nathan reached out recently to say
And
hi.
that's
All
time.
Okay.
I never got super into Boy Sets Fire. Like I know them. I know them because a lot of bands I like hold them very
Yeah.
high esteem. Yeah. But I never got like the band I listen to, like Stick to Your Guns. I know the singer is a
yeah.
huge Boy Sets Fire fan, huge like Propaganda fan. Like, so that's kind of what
Did they just play with Biohazard
Bane.
yesterday? Bane. They're playing with Bane.
they're playing.
this
They were in
weekend.
Boston with Bane
Yesterday.
Yeah,
Last
I
night.
was
Yeah.
kind of bummed I didn't go to that.
I was like, I just saw their name on a flyer.
Yeah.
for the
Are you
first
seeing
time.
anybody?
I
anytime
just
soon?
saw Edict, which is ex Bury Your Dead, ex Drop Dead.
Oh, wow.
And they're sick hardcore. Like they're just straight up.
Does it have Drop Dead vibe?
It doesn't really. It has more like, if anything, I would say it has like Bloodlet vibes, where it's just like chuggy hardcore.
Really?
Like just like
I gotta check that out.
yeah, they're real good.
I was into
fun.
Drop Dead, like, well, because I went through like a sort of a crusty, like power violence time when I was like a teenager.
Yeah, that's my favorite genre, by the way. Like that, like
excruciating terror,
90s,
phobia.
That late '90s grindcore, like power violence stuff, like
Locust.
Yeah, Locust, Black Army Jacket, Jenny Piccolo, Drop Dead, Charles Bronson, Inhumanity, like all that stuff. Like that's like.
Be on the lookout for our Spotify playlist coming soon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we should probably do that. We should definitely do that. Yeah. But yeah, Edict, they opened for Bury Your Dead. I saw them in Louisville, and then I'm performing with Vin Caruana of I'm the Avalanche of Movie Life, and Kaylee Goldsworthy on Saturday in Jersey. So that should be fun.
That's really cool though. You're becoming like one of the few comics who's like very like established as like performing with fans.
Yeah, no, I'm jealous of like a lot of the shit that you do is fucking
That's all
awesome.
I want to do. Yeah. It's like it's the most fun. It's the most fun. Yeah. And then like touring with like that Motion City tour, like that, it was just like, dude, I can't.
I mean, I wanted to be like a touring musician so bad my whole life. And so even when we met up in Minneapolis and like you had to go by the van or the bus, I was like, man, this is fucking cool. And I just have to pretend that I'm just like, it's whatever.
You're so.
And I was like so jealous.
You're too cool. Character.
Must not tell Neil he's doing something cool.
That's Bailey's whole vibe.
Oh, no, you're on tour with the band. Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Like, if you're nice
I never listened to them, so it doesn't matter.
If you're nice to me, I'm still gonna think you're cool. Like,
it's not gonna help. Well,
I guess I was always surprised by like. Maybe because I know we both know Extinction AD and those guys, Death Metal guys. So I guess when you were on tour with the Motion City soundtrack, I was like, oh, I guess I didn't know that you were in that realm as well. Like that's so surprising. I like them, I just never got super into them.
So all right, Motion City's different because they genuinely are one of my favorite bands. Yeah. Like I just love everything about them. But that's not the genre I normally listen to. Yeah. But that genre is like what all my friends play, and like. They've like that group of kids, like that audience has been so good to me that like I'm never gonna shit on emo kids. Yeah. Like they're the fucking best.
That was one of the bands I actually went like. I liked the big hit songs stuff like that from like back in the day when it came out, but I've been like recently going back into albums like that, and that was specifically one of them. I went back and listened, and I was like. Yep, I fucked up. This is fantastic. Yeah. I should have listened to this way sooner.
Yeah, because they're pop songs, but they're like got some like discordance, some like indie rock vibes. Like the drumming is ridiculous, and the lyrics are all about suicide. And it's just like
I do love anything that sounds happy, but it's horribly depressing.
Yeah. And they're just such good dudes. Like they're the fucking best. Whatever.
Well, let's wrap this up. Neil, do you have anything that you want to plug for the next 2 weeks? And where can people find it?
Yeah, just the special's going to be out soon. So just like neilrubenstein.com, and you can like find my YouTube or whatever. And like, the special's going to be called Have Some Dignity. Neil Rubenstein Has Some Dignity.
Hell yeah.
Follow me, Peter Angelo, on Instagram at Metal Pete Comedy. And TikTok at Metal Pete Comedy. That's where I post all my clips and where I'm going to be. If we do, like, if this has an episode 2, we have to talk about this festival because it's fucking.
What festival?
It's a very mainstream one. It's the Blue Rock Ridge
dude,
Festival.
That's insane. It's insane.
Bonkers.
Dude, Pantera and 3-6 Mafia on the same day.
Jesus Christ.
Yo.
Well, next episode we'll talk about that and Furnace Fests and everybody's strong feelings about that.
Yeah.
For me, BaileyPopeComedy.com. I'll be in Boulder, well, probably before this comes out. And you can find all my dates on BaileyPopeComedy.com or Instagram at theactualBaileyPope.com. Actual Bailey Pope, just actual Bailey Pope.
Not the fake one. Don't fall for the fake one.
Yeah, not the fake one.
Fuck her. Yet.
Is there another Bailey Pope?
Oh, there's a bunch of them. Yeah, it's just a name.
Yeah, but that's a pretty unique name, I would think.
No, there's others. There's others. One like a
fight.
Yeah, they're just like one's a cheerleader who used to be higher on Google than me, but I destroyed her.
Take that bitch down.
So don't follow her.
Yeah, no.
But
You wanted the actual.
next episode, Blue Ridge
Rock Festival.
Rock Festival, Furnace Fest, and more failing.
Can we talk about how you guys both have amazing eyes and I have shit brown eyes?
Oh yeah, we were definitely going to talk about that as well.
We're going to zoom in on that. That's going to be the headshot of the fucking podcast. It's just our three eyes and just one's got an X over
One
them.
of these things is not like the other.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
See ya.